80s night. There's no doubting I'm an idiot sometimes. There's also no doubting I'll do anything to pull a girl. Hayley was special. Just 22 years old and a body to die for. And for some reason, she was interested in a bloke 15 years older than her. Maybe it was my good looks and charm, or maybe it was because I'd told her I was a poet. I've no idea why that particular lie was my fantasy of choice that day, but it had worked the dream. Hayley was eating out of the palm of my hand. She obviously asked me for an example of my work. I had to think fast. I mumbled a couple of lines. Sitting in a corner in imperfect clothes, trying not to pose. For the camera and the girls. It's a glamorous world. It was from a long-forgotten song that I was pretty sure she wouldn't have known, and it seemed to do the trick. She looked suitably impressed. I promised her more if she agreed to meet me for a drink later that week. Of course, she agreed. We met in a video bar. Not my choice of venue, but I wanted to look down with the kids, so I went along with the suggestion. The music was pretty bad. They were playing Stevie Wonder when we came in. We sat down and chatted, and when the subject inevitably got round to poetry, I fished out the poem I'd prepared for her. And then we touch, much too much. This moment has been waiting for a long, long time. It makes me shiver. It makes me quiver. This moment, I'm so unsure. This moment I've waited for. Is it something you've been waiting for? Waiting for too? Michael Jackson blared out from the screens as she read the lines. It's beautiful, she said, and laid her hand on my arm. I knew then that if I played it cool, she'd be in my bed in the not-too-distant future. Kajagoogoo had replaced Jackson, their dodgy-haired singer crooning about modern medicine. The blandness of the lyrics made the sultry romance of my poem stand out even more. I decided to nip to the toilet to get some supplies, and then I'd ask if she fancied going for a walk, knowing I could slip my arm through hers, and then, when the moment was right, our lips would meet. I stood at the urinal listening to the last few chords of Wham. VH1 were obviously having one of their many 80s nights and had chosen the worst of the 80s on that particular night. But then the nightmare happened. Wham finished and the next song started. It couldn't be, but it was. What were the chances? It was the second song that I'd lifted the lyrics from. I finished what I was doing and zipped up. I didn't even wash my hands. There was no time. I needed to get back to the table and get Hayley out of the bar before she recognised those bloody lyrics. Just as I got to the table, Hazel warbled out the words that Hayley was rereading on the paper in front of her. She looked up from the sheet, shook her head, and went for the walk that I was going to suggest. The problem is, she went alone.